Next, Mos Bros Sports on Rant Radio Network.
Coming at ya!
There you go. It's working today.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Mos Bros Sports in the house with you here on iRant Radio. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I am J Mo, and with me always is my brother,
Bus driver.
Mr. TBD. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, man?
Hey, it's another Wednesday. We are here
Hump
with you on
day.
iRant Radio, home of Three Guys Rant and home of Mos Bros Sports. We want to thank you for joining us here today. We're going to talk a lot about baseball today. We've got opening day coming up
Sunday night.
Monday for the Dodgers.
Monday
That's the
for
most
the
important
Dodgers,
thing
yes,
for
sir.
us. But yeah, Sunday.
Most baseball's starting. That's most important. Most important is baseball's back, my man.
Man, where do your loyalties lie? You're breaking my heart right now.
My
The only
loyalty
thing I
lies
care
to
about
baseball.
Is when the Blues started.
My loyalty lies to baseball. I love
All right,
baseball.
all right. I
love
got
it.
you. So
I
we got a
love it.
lot to talk about baseball. We're gonna kind of break down who our favorites are for the divisions. We're gonna talk about playoffs, World Series predictions, and we'll be sure to record it so that way we can play it back for you guys when we're right down the
Yes,
line,
sir.
or at least when one of us is right. So we'll get into that a little bit. I think we'll also probably talk a little bit about the Final Four
Yeah,
if
it's
we have
coming
some
up.
time because
Yeah.
that's a major sporting
squeeze it
event
in.
that's going on right now.
Although it is April now, so it's really not March Madness anymore.
Not quite, but still, we've got the final. That's
Yeah,
why I
I know.
didn't say
I know.
March Madness.
I know,
I said
I'm
we got
just
the
saying.
Final
I'm
Four
just saying.
coming up. So, but I do want to talk a little bit about my weekend, just because I did have some sports going on for myself this weekend.
Go ahead. What?
Talk
to the people. Let them know what you did.
I took Friday off of work, and it was kind of like end of the month. I was busting my hump pretty hard. Had a pretty good month for work, and so I took Friday off and decided to play a little bit of golf, and got around in here at one of our local courses in Downey. Course called Rio Hondo.
Attaboy.
I got a pretty good rate there on clickforteatimes.com. No soliciting there. Just like to mention that because they
name
got
dropping it
some
all.
pretty,
No
some
name.
pretty good deals.
No name dropping it all.
I saw a tiger out there and,
Mhm.
just gave him a little, what's
Yeah.
up? Saw him working on his swing.
I bet he was.
Yeah, he kept grabbing his back, though.
I bet he was.
Or it was his glutes. That's what it was. It was his glutes.
tighten
Yeah,
up.
they weren't activating, so he had to take care of that. Anyways, my best round ever. Not
Yeah.
impressive for those of you that do golf, and
Right.
I'm not ready to go on tour, but for me, I was excited because it was my lowest score on a par 72 course.
Should be.
So I was excited. I
Yeah.
shot at 87.
That's great,
It
man.
was either 87 or 85.
I don't think I've ever broke 90.
I think it was the 87.
I don't think I've ever broke 90.
It's like the second or third time I broke it, and I didn't have a birdie all day.
Yep.
So that was the nice thing about it, was the consistency.
Yeah.
Pars and bogeys, couple of dubs, couple of trips here and there, but
Snowman.
one snowman. I think it was on the last hole on 18. I had a snowman. I just fell
Attaboy.
apart on that hole.
Attaboy.
But yeah, I just played really well. My drives were what was on. I mean,
Yeah.
was just crushing it off the tee. Had a little bit of a breeze going on, so that was helping me out a little bit. But it was hitting it straight and true. So just crushed it.
Yeah.
Got Pops out there a little bit. He played and he shot in the 120s, which is for him first starting out. That's about to be expected.
Yeah,
So
not bad at all.
hopefully our brother Tim is watching this and he knows about my 87 because I didn't have a chance to text it to him yet. But
I'm sure he'll find out.
did want to tell him about that. So
Mhm.
so that was great. No baseball, no t-ball on Saturday. So
Good to have a day off,
I
huh?
had a chance to
No
relax.
relief.
A little relief. Yes and no. Ended up running about doing some errands, and but we did have a
Little Bed Bath and Beyond.
didn't have the triple B. Didn't have
Home
time
Dep-
for the triple
Home
B.
Depot.
Nah, actually, we did go to Home Depot. I think Home Depot was on Sunday though, but I went to a family party, 75th birthday for my wife's aunt.
75, huh?
75 years old. Looks good for 75 too. And had a fantastic Mexican party with Mexican food, and it was just I overate and had some beer, and it
Tequila.
was just a great. There was, I didn't have any tequila. There was some tequila there, but there were
gotta be.
mixed drinks for the ladies, little margaritas.
As they say, if it's a Mexican party, there's got to be tequila.
There was
in
tequila there, but it was mostly
What city was it in?
Coronas. There were mostly Coronas.
What city?
South Pass.
There you go.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Very successful. The my wife's cousin is a doctor. So,
Oh, nice.
so she does well for herself,
There you
graduated UCLA. So really great family, had a great time. So
Good,
it
man.
was really good. Funny thing, I was talking to this guy there, and he's like, he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
but super cool guy.
Yeah.
But he's originally from Mexico, so he got like lay on the accent really thick when he's speaking Spanish. But you know, you just think you're talking to him. He's like talking to another white guy.
Right.
But a really good lawyer. He's like the premier Mexican lawyer in Los Angeles. So he says firm is. So they have a lot of Mexican lawyer representatives, so they do pretty good. I thought it was interesting. So they cater with Southern California. You know, we have a big Hispanic population, and they cater to him really well. And so his firm's doing really well. He's hoping to have a really good year this year. So
Interesting.
wish him well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I forget his name now, and now I feel like a jerk. I want to say
like
Fred.
I was gonna say like Mark or
no,
like
it was,
Jose or
no, really cool guy though.
Fred
Really
could be
cool guy. Yeah. So. How about you? Any
his
sports?
last name like Martinez or
No,
Sanchez?
I didn't even get the last name. I didn't get the last
Gutierrez?
name.
Nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
No. Garcia is the most popular.
Think it is?
Yeah, it is.
I think it's like
No, I know it is.
Hernandez.
Nope, it's Garcia.
Certain?
Certain. Positive. Stats
Okay.
Inc. Check it out.
I'll have to look that one up.
Any sports for you over the weekekend?
Nope.
No?
Just
relaxed?
went down, had a Saturday off too, like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Went and enjoyed the Orange County Fair like us half white people do.
The fair or the swap meet?
Swap meet.
But it's at the fairgrounds. I guess.
That's the fairground, yeah. Nice day out there. A few brouhahas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little beef jerky. Little kettle
can't go
corn.
wrong with the beef jerky. Oh, and the
Kettle corn. You know Dad, though. Come on.
Yeah.
Dad eats half a bag of kettle corn. No
And he
problem.
got home and hit the couch.
Exactly, man. Put on some basketball, and that was about it. Watched basketball, though. That was about it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I didn't
get into too many sports. I didn't get into sports this weekend, so. But it was good weekend overall.
Michigan State was a good game to watch this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're beating Louisville.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
Going to be coming up soon also.
Yeah.
Michigan State's game, that is.
Yeah, playing against, they got Duke, right?
Duke? Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then
Kentucky,
Wisconsin's got Kentucky.
Yeah, we can talk about that for sure.
We'll get into it.
A little bit. Very good. Do you understand?
Yes. All right, so let's talk a little bit of baseball because we got a lot to cover here. The season's going to start, and we'll jump right into it. And let's start off. You want to start off with the AL East, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So champions of the AL East last year, the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
Pretty similar roster to what they had last year.
Okay.
I was trying to remember. I know that they lost a key player due to free agency, I think, in the offseason, but I couldn't remember who it was.
Yes, they lost, what's his name, the right fielder, Cruz. Gosh dang it. He's on the Mariners now.
Okay.
Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
I'll get his name right now. But
All right.
Solid. He used to be on Texas too, and he got busted for steroids, and then but now he's joined the Mariners. But it is a big bat they lost. Supposedly, is what I heard is Nelson Cruz is his name.
Nelson Cruz.
I knew it was there. Check me, everybody. Check me.
All right.
So I think the Baltimore Orioles. I actually think the Baltimore Orioles will win the division again.
Do you?
I actually think they'll come away with it, and I think the Red Sox might finish up in second place. Is the way I have it. They got Adam Jones still, probably one of the top 5, top 4 center fielders in the game.
Yep.
Manny Machado, probably one of the best left side of the field infielders in the game.
I thought there was talks of Machado leaving in the offseason.
No, he got hurt.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
He got hurt in the offseason, had a couple different injuries, but he's back healthy.
Chris Davis, a beast over at first base. Guy's just a great spot in the lineup.
He had a bad season last season, so I think he's going to have a comeback year this year. He may not hit the 50 bombs, but I think he's going to be up there in the 30, maybe the 40 range.
30s, yeah. I was going to say low to mid 30s.
And then Wieters is back too, also, and Buck Showalter, just great coach.
Yeah,
took the Orioles a couple years ago. They weren't even, they were at the bottom of the AL East for the longest time.
They were nothing
before he got there, and he's built them up ever since, and now he's got them there. Their pitching's okay. There's no real aces.
I was looking at that too.
Yeah, you got Tillman, you got Chen, Norris, Gonzalez. Nothing really special there. Closer's not bad in Britain. He'll get a couple games done for you, but actually a player that I really like on this team is I think it's Scoop, the second baseman.
Shoop.
I think he might have a breakout year this year and
Jonathan Shoop.
Yeah, he might get a silver slugger over there at second base. I think he's got potential to do it.
Okay.
But I have them taken away. I don't know why. Their lineup's solid, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They have Delman Young as a DH along with this Pierce guy who's like a Bull Durham guy. He's been in the minors for like 9 or 10 years now, and he's coming up and he's supposed to be a really good DH. So I'm liking him. The Red Sox, their good lineup's awesome.
Lineup is really
awesome.
good. Much improved over last
Pitching
year.
wise, I'm not too sure how good they're going to do. Buckholz, question mark. Porcello coming over from Detroit. He's okay. Masterson, Wade Miley, Joe Kelly. Koji Uehara, their closer. Supposedly he's got some injuries, so I'm not too sure about them, how good they're going to do, but I see the Orioles coming away with it. That's for sure.
But they've definitely got, they definitely have the bats that are going to be able to produce some runs. That's going to be able to give their starting pitching a lot of
the Red Sox?
a lot of support. Yeah, talking about the Red Sox. That is, you got Napoli at first. Proven guy with the Angels, great hitter. Had a good year last year with the Red Sox, but they didn't really have much else. Pedroia,
solid
World Series MVP, veteran, great guy to have there. And then the couple of pickups. They picked up Hanley Ramirez, moved him out into the outfield, which is a great move. Maybe even move him, depending on what happens with Big Papi. But I mean, if you need to, you could probably put him at first.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not at first. I mean, put Hanley at DH if you need to.
Yeah. Depending on what type of field they're in.
Yeah, depending on what's going on.
They actually got this kid, Mookie Betts, really good this spring training. Really been playing really well. Probably going to be their starting center fielder.
Yeah.
Along with Hanley in left, and looks like the Flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino.
Yep.
He's going to lock down right field for him.
Saw that. Yeah, that's.
And Xander Bogaerts, he's been with the Red Sox. I want to say maybe 2-3 years now, and I think this is going to be his year. He's going to solidify the shortstop spot. He's going to play great defense. Pablo's right next to him. He's batting. I think he's going to bat. I don't know if he's going to bat 1 or 2 at the top or if he's going to be one of those 8-9 guys. But I think he's going to do well in this lineup. He's got a lot of protection, and people are going to forget about him. But I think he has potential to maybe get 20 home runs, maybe 18, 19, 20 home runs. So I see him being good as a shortstop. So
I like them. To be honest with you, I like the moves they made. I know their starting pitching isn't that strong.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I think just as far as the division's concerned, I don't think they have a lot of strong pitching in the division overall.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of offense in that division.
Yeah. So it's kind of I mean maybe a dark horse just because Baltimore is the returning champions. I definitely like them, but I'm going to go. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily against the grain, but I think Boston is going to be my pick for the AL East this year. Yeah, I mean, I just wasn't always a big Red Sox fan, but I couldn't help but root for them when they were having their their breakthrough year when they won their first World Series. So that's my pick. We'll talk a little bit more about the AL East when we come back from break. We're also going to talk about the NL East. And if you got something to say about your team, give us some insight on what's going on. The number to dial in is 855-969-7268. Stay tuned to Mos Bros Sports. We'll catch you after the break.
Know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
Have your attention? When it comes to tequila, 2 things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number 1 Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number 1. There's only number 1. There's only number 1.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home, at AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.hrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink, gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotechsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at ProTech. Just reminding you that ProTech Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
10304.
Yeah, I got you coming through right there. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mos Bros Sports. Check. 1, 2, mic check. Here we go.
Very good.
J-Mo and TBD with you here on iRant Radio Network. The number to dial in. If you want to talk about your baseball team, we were trying to recruit a couple of non-SoCal baseball fans, but we couldn't quite get them in here. So if you couldn't make it into the show today, you want to call in, give us your take on your baseball team. The number to dial in is 855-969-RANT. That's 855-969-7268. I still haven't memorized the number, as well. I have to keep looking up at the screen all the time. So we were talking about the AL East,
Yes,
and we left off with a couple of favorites. We're looking at Boston and Baltimore.
I got Baltimore. You got the Sox.
I'm taking
Okay.
Boston. We got a few other teams in the division. The most notable, most recognized logo, probably maybe of all the sports, the New York Yankees.
Around the world, yeah.
Unfortunately, more of the tabloids and I don't want to say tabloids, but the headlines and the attention this team has been due to A-Rod,
Right.
him wanting to come back. After a year suspension. Before that, he had the busted hip. So he's coming back now, and from what I could see on the rosters, they're talking about him being a DH.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well. Spring training highlights I've been seeing, and everybody that's been talking about him saying watching him. His bat speed's there. He's catching up to some fast, some mid-90s fastballs. He's being able to hit them. He's not hitting the ball too hard, but he's getting base hits. He's getting on base. I think he had maybe 1 or 2 home runs in the spring training. So they're saying it shows you that he still has a bat speed to get around with.
Yeah.
Putting him in the middle of this lineup, this team's a big if, I think, because you have all these veterans. They're a little bit older. It's all about staying healthy and getting healthy at the right time. Ellsbury, solid center fielder, coming over from the Red Sox
A little
couple
bit older.
years back.
A veteran, I guess you could say.
He's probably like 29, 30.
Oh, really?
He's a little bit younger,
I don't know
yeah.
why I thought he was a little bit older.
Brett Gardner, solid left fielder. He could even be a leadoff batter too. Steals tons of bases. Those both guys do. But it's matter. He always had injury career, but last year I think he was mostly healthy. So
Right.
Carlos Beltran, another older guy.
A little bit older, yeah.
Chase Headley, a little bit older guy. A-Rod, of course, we know that. Brian McCann, I think he's in his 31, 32 era, so he should be coming up. I think last year...
Which is tough for a catcher. The catchers definitely get a little bit more wear and tear being behind the plate. But really one of the better hitting catchers in the American League for sure.
And I think last year was his first year with the Yankees, so I think he was trying to learn more about the pitching staff throughout the season than concentrate on his hitting. So I think now that he knows the pitching staff, he's going to get back to hitting. I think he's got about 25 bombs in him this year, especially playing that short fence in Yankee Stadium.
I might put the over-under around 20.
Okay.
20, yeah. I like him, and you still got their big ticket item in Teixeira.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking that he's not looking good at all in spring training.
Yeah,
swings slowed down a lot. Can't really catch with the fastball anymore, but he's got a great glove at third base.
He's got a love for the glove.
Yeah. And then the pitching staff, it could be possibly one of the best in the AL, leading off with Tanaka.
Yeah, Tanaka's definitely good.
If CC comes back healthy,
they're saying he put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Because there was a big.
He lost a lot of weight
last year.
Though.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. He lost a lot of weight last year. It was definitely an off year for him. He didn't do that well. So I don't know if he just needs the extra weight to kind of push it behind him, help him, drive off the rubber.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, I'm hoping he has a good year. I like him as a pitcher. I think he's great. I loved him in Milwaukee. I like his sideways cap, his whole style. And he's a great pitcher. And he's good. Coming from the left side too. Good pitcher. Really good pitcher.
And then you got Michael Pineda, the Pine Tar guy last year.
Yeah.
Been pitching very well in the spring. A couple years back, he was like a rookie or first year on Seattle and was just throwing lights out. Then he came over to New York, and he hasn't been healthy, and then he got that whole stuff with him.
Right.
And then Nate Eovaldi, former Dodger, went to the Marlins, just throwing gas. This reminds me of a little bit of Smoltzy's.
Yeah.
Throws about a 96, 97 mile fastball with some changeup, off-speed stuff. I think it's either a curve or a split, but looking very well. I mean, they're the big if. If they can stay healthy and pitch well, but I think Tanaka's end up going to get hurt.
You think so?
I don't know what happened with his elbow last year.
They're just going to overuse him, you think?
No, there was something wrong with his elbow. They played it off to where all he needed was rehab to get it stronger, but I think it's going to come back to him and haunt him this year.
All right.
And then after that, you got Tampa in last place, or the Blue Jays and then Tampa Bay.
Right, but Tampa, unfortunately, all they've got going for them is their third baseman.
Longoria.
Yeah, SoCal veteran.
Yeah. And then the Blue Jays, they picked up Russell Martin. They also have Jose Reyes still, and what's his name out in right field, Batista, then Encarnacion. They got Russell Martin as well too. So they got a couple bats, but they really don't have any pitching. And if you know, I mean, the last couple of years, pitching's pretty much won it. Look at Bumgardner. Look at look at the Cardinals pitching staff. So
yeah,
that pretty much rounds out the AL East. I mean,
I think so.
I have Baltimore. You have the Sox.
Yep.
And then everything else can be a crapshoot. I think the Yankees probably finish third. And then you got the Blue Jays and Tampa Bay
and the Rays in the basement. So moving on from there, we'll move on to the NL East.
Yes, sir.
As we talk about the NL East, the returning champions are the Washington Nationals.
Correct.
Definitely looking like a contender this year with their starting pitching, which is pretty much
Yeah.
and then young bats too. We'll get into. I mean, Bryce Harper. From what I've been hearing, having a really good preseason. They're looking like he's going to be back into form.
Yeah.
Looking sharp. I definitely put him in that.
Got him on our fantasy baseball team.
30 home run range.
Yeah, he can definitely get there. That's for sure.
And even and backing up him in right field, you got Jason Worth. A guy that's a veteran, former Dodger, former Cardinal too, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's this?
Jason Worth. Was he on the Cardinals
Phillies.
for a minute?
Phillies.
That's
Dodgers.
what it was.
Yeah.
So that's a great veteran to have on your roster.
Yeah.
I think go ahead.
I think this division pretty much there's really not much. This division really doesn't have much to talk about. Nationals are going to take it. I think hands down they might win it by 15 or 20 games. Just that pitching staff solid with Scherzer, Strasburg, Zimmerman, Pfister, Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got Worth, Harper. Ryan Zimmerman's moving over to first. If he could stay healthy, I think one of the top 10 shortstops in the league. Ian Desmond always hits well. I guess their question is the bullpen, but if you got those starters, hopefully they can go 7 or 8 innings, and they get the closer in there. But I see this division coming down to them in a landslide, hands down.
Especially after the pickup of Scherzer that they had. I mean, that was just huge.
Yeah, I think the only
add that onto the young arm of Strasburg.
Yeah.
I mean, now you got Strasburg. A guy who was said to be the next. Before Kershaw,
Yeah, it's like,
they were looking at him as the next Sandy Koufax.
Yeah,
before he had
Nolan
to have that Tommy John, and but still, after coming back from that surgery, a really really strong pitcher.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll let him loose a little bit. Maybe let him pitch a little bit more, a few more innings this year. Build up that arm strength, and he should definitely do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Marlins added some D. Gordon. They still have Stanton. They got some young guys. They got Michael Morse. They have Martin Prado. And they got this kid, Christian Yelich, pretty good, playing left field. Good batting. Could hit for some power in front of Stanton. Probably going to see some good pitches. They got this young center fielder, Ozuna. Sal Talamaki is back there behind the plate. Young pitching staff. And as long as, what's his name? I think it's Fernandez comes back and he's healthy. They can definitely push for a run. Jose Fernandez.
Yeah, he's the guy that blows gas.
Yeah. So, and they added Latos. They got this kid Henderson Alvarez who kind of carried him last year, but they'll be probably either second or third. The Mets also have a good rotation, but they don't have bats to back it up. I don't see it. They have solid pitchers, but and then you got Atlanta and Philly, who really don't. I don't know.
I don't know what happened with Atlanta. Atlanta just really let go of their roster. They let so many of their good quality players go.
Yeah.
But starting, back a couple years ago, they let go of McCann. They let go of just drawing a blank. Anyways, they just they
Chipper Jones retired.
Chipper Jones retired. Just a lot of stuff happened to they let good guys go. So I mean, it's just I don't know what the organization is doing, what their plans are, if it's a rebuild or what have you.
They lost Hayward, the right fielder.
That's Jason Hayward. Yeah.
They still have Freddie Freeman at first base.
Yeah.
Who I think he's a great hitter.
Great first baseman.
I think he'll win MVP eventually, but
not on that team.
Phillies, they still got Ryan Howard and Chase Utley, and they got Cole Hamels. Other than that, not much else.
But Cole Hamels is looking to move. A lot of talk in the offseason about Cole Hamels wanting to move.
He probably will.
Definitely expressed interest in going to the Dodgers. Not saying that as a Dodgers homer, but I mean, those are just the headlines I'm reading. So we'd love to see him. And the Dodgers may have some trade bait to actually get him.
Yeah.
They've definitely got some tools. They've got Andre Ethier.
Yeah.
They've got a deep roster. I mean, even if we had to let go of someone like a Van Slyke, which I wouldn't like to see, but to get a pitcher like Hamels as a nice, to add, especially not knowing what's going to be the future of Hyun-Jin Ryu. But I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We'll get to the NL West a little bit later. So,
I got nothing else on the NL East. Like I said, I think it's a landslide, hands down. Nats. You taking the Nats as well?
I take the Nats as well. Yeah. Behind them, I don't really know. Yeah, tough one. I mean, I might take. I
think it's either
maybe Miami.
Yeah,
maybe Miami
Marlins or
behind
Mets.
them. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Just not a lot going there.
Yeah.
And the only reason for Miami is because they've got some pretty decent bats in their lineup, so they'll maybe put up some good runs. But
and they have good pitching too, so that'll help them out as well. So
okay.
Moving on to the AL Central.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah. No.
We'll move on to the AL Central. Big team. Supposedly, a lot of people think that the Cleveland Indians are going to be coming out of there.
You think so?
Me personally, I don't have
They
that.
got Francona as their
Francona,
coach, right?
yes, sir.
Yep.
I have the Tigers coming out.
Returning
of the Central,
champs.
returning champs. They still got David Price. Verlander's a little banged up.
Mm-hmm.
They got Anibal Sanchez.
They lost
still.
Scherzer, but that was last year.
Yep. They picked up Alfredo Simon coming over from, I think, the Reds.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got a younger kid, Shane Green. So pitching staff still solid. You got Price, and if Verlander can hold his own for most of the season, if he has to go on the DL.
Those guys are going to get you to high teens, probably somewhere around 16, 17 wins each, maybe 18.
If Verlander has to go on the DL, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You still got one of the top 3 baseball players in the league with Miguel Cabrera. You can already pencil in probably about 3 to he's going to bat over 300. Depends on either 320, 310.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to hit you close to 30, maybe 35 bombs, high 20s. Probably get you over 100 RBIs. Now you got Victor Martinez right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Cespedes came over from the Red Sox.
Yep.
So he's looking good to play left field. This kid J.D. Martinez came on strong last year, batted about 20 home runs, so he'll be carrying the load as well offensively for them.
Ian Kinsler playing second base, so
solid,
I like the right side of the lineup there. They're looking really strong. He's a good young second baseman there.
I think it's going to come down between the Tigers and the Indians. I don't see the Sox doing much. I think Kansas City got hot last year. That's what put them over the top. They just got hot at the right time. And they kept it going with the wild card.
Maybe they're a young team. They didn't know any better. But, what helped Kansas City a lot, too, is they had a really deep bullpen.
Yeah.
So that's what helped them get through.
Flamethrowers.
Exactly. So when they had probably starting pitching, I would say that was good enough to carry them through the season and get them the wins.
But they only needed to pitch 5 innings. Because
exactly.
they had a 6, 7, 8, 9 guy in the bullpen.
Exactly, and they had really good run support, too. They had a lot of guys that were just hitting the ball. They had Mustakas, was one of my favorite guys to watch, good left-handed hitter.
Lorenzo Cain.
So, exactly. So, all right, we'll get back into it. We're going to probably wrap up here with the AL Central, get into the NL Central, and more when we come back. Mos Bros Sports.
That needs to get noticed, your ideas need a great website. And at Infuse, we build simple, clean, and efficient websites. We believe that even the wildest ideas should come to life in a beautiful way. We build responsive sites, e-commerce sites, and even help with business email setup and search engine optimization. Every great idea needs a great website. Start your new look today. Check us out at www.infuse.com. That's www.enfuse.com, or call us at 800-542-4783. Again, that's 800-542-4783. Infuse, we get it done. We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Make sure to check us out every week at the3guysrant.com.
And you'll find out what they say we're faces for radio and voices for the deaf. Damn right. Have you seen yourself lately? Hey, I'm audio candy. All right. Always tune in each week so you can hear the really absurd news and talk with the Three Guys Rant. Arvin, how do they reach us?
Call us at 855-69-3-GUYS. 855-69-3-GUYS. It's hot out here. I need a drink.
Have a mucho macho michelada.
What's a michelada?
Michelada is a Mexican Bloody Mary made with beer. All you have to do is get bucket-sized michelada, open it up, pour it in your favorite beer, and you're good.
What if you don't like beer?
You can use it in lemon lime soda, vodka with lime, or tequila with lemon lime soda.
Sounds delicious.
Where do you find it?
You can find it at your favorite store, or you can go to muchomachomichelada.com.
Find us on Twitter and Facebook. It's one thing to own a business. It's another to promote it. That's why thousands of business owners rely on Monster Marketing Group. Design, print, mail, custom mailers, all for as little as 29 cents delivered. That includes postage. Send to a neighborhood, zip code, or an entire city. With just a simple call, 888-49-MONSTER, you can easily promote your business, sales, events, grand openings, send coupons, and much more.
Your mail delivers in as little as 5 days. No dealing with the mailing list or paperwork. Monster Marketing does all the heavy lifting. Get started now by calling 888-49-MONSTER or go to monsterng.com.
Monster Marketing Group. We deliver, we give you results, we can prove it.
My whole team is eating off of this good shit. Good shit, nigga. Next time, don't overlook shit. Keep your eyes open and your wallet in your front pocket. Prison chef goes.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mos Bros Sports coming back to you here on the iRant Radio Network. So we're going to jump right into it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about still. We're going to cover a lot of MLB. And so for our AL Central predictions, Steven, Mr. Bus Driver, is taking
The Tigres.
the Tigres, Los Tigres del Norte. Ay, ay, ay! Me, I am going to take, I think I'm going to take Detroit also.
Okay.
I'm going to take Detroit because
I think their offense
I like their pitching.
offense and
That's
veterans.
what it's for me. I like Verlander a lot.
And they got veterans.
Price is good. You know, I was really excited. I was crushed when the Dodgers didn't get him last year, you know, in that midseason trade, you know, from Tampa. But yeah, I'll take Detroit. I like them. Yeah, just good bats.
I think Cleveland will finish second though.
Yeah, they're going to be in there.
And then Kansas City will get third, I think is the way I have it.
Yeah.
And then the White Sox and Twins will be after that.
Mm-hmm.
Twins got a long way to go. Long way to go.
Long time
ago. But getting into probably one of the actually, it's a tough division, the NL Central.
It's a really tough.
I think it's going down a little bit, to tell you the truth.
Do you?
Talk
to me.
I don't think Cincinnati is what it used to be a couple years back.
Okay.
I think Dusty Baker left a couple years ago, and it hasn't really been the same.
Okay.
The Cubs are going to be back though, which makes it interesting. The Brewers aren't really there either. I got the Brewers and the Reds at the bottom. I think the Cubs come up, and the Cubs come up to, I think, at least third, and they play a little bit over 500 baseball, I think.
Okay.
I think they finished just above 500. I don't think they get first or second. I still don't think they're there yet. I think they may need another pitcher or two.
They definitely need pitching.
Their offense is there.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think it's still the Cardinals.
It's the Cardinals.
Veterans, great pitching, great coaching, and they've been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
They know what to do. They know when it comes time. They know when to rest their players. They know when their pitcher's pitching too much. They know to get those flamethrowers in the bullpen. They know what to get them ready for the playoffs, because that's when it comes time. They added Jason Hayward. They still got Matt Holliday. Yachty still solid behind the plate.
Absolutely.
Another
really great hitting catcher.
Great hitting catcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's come alive the past couple years, but he still may be on the radars. Matt Carpenter, solid third baseman. No, doesn't wear batting gloves. Gotta love that.
Yeah,
got the pine tar on there. Plays third. Actually, he can play third, short, and second. I think he can even go to the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
But his prime position now is third base.
Couple of young guys that were making a big impact last year, John Jay in the outfield, and Colton Wong at second base.
Hit that home
guys
run
who are having those clutch hits and really good defensively too.
Yeah.
So and that's one of the things I really like I like, as much as I hate St. Louis for the way they've done the Dodgers the last few years in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, the Dodgers can't seem to get past them. But you know, when you look at what they're doing or they've done with their franchise and with their minor league system, what the Dodgers were doing in the 90s. And that is just building up young talent, bringing them up through the farm system, and then bringing them, not trading them away for future prospects or not trading them away for seasoned veterans, but just letting them season in the minor leagues and bring them up when they're ready. And, and it's, to me, it looks like it's a proven method.
I mean, if you look at their lineup, really, they've only really brought in just recently Jason Hayward,
right?
But Matt Holliday.
Yeah.
Everybody else has come through their system, played in their system, and then they either stay with the team or they've left. Yachty's been a Cardinal, Matt Adams, Matt Carpenter, Peralta came over also, but Colton Wong, John Jay, they've all been Cardinals prospects.
And they bring in John Lackey in the offseason after he had his little short stint with the A's at the end of last year.
Still got no, he was with the Cardinals. He came on with the Cardinals. He was in Boston last year, and then they brought him over. They traded him over at the trade deadline.
Okay.
So they have Adam Wainwright, still solid. He can always fight for the Cy Young every year. Lance Lynn's just a beast.
Yep.
Solid pitcher. Michael Waka.
Yep.
He was hurt last year, so he was very inconsistent. I actually think he missed some time last year.
If he's strong, though, coming back this year, he was a guy that was a big performer in the playoffs. Again, I think at that time he was a rookie. They probably just didn't have a lot of scouting reports on him, but still, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I think he's got good stuff, and definitely, a nice anchor to have, towards the bottom of that starting rotation.
Yeah. And then John Lackey, and then a pitcher, he's still on the rise, Carlos Martinez. He can definitely get things done. That's for sure. He's a hard-throwing kid, but he can also mix it up with a changeup and a curveball. So hopefully he was in the bullpen. He was about their 7th, 8th inning guy, but now he's trying to convert to a starter, so hopefully he can convert very well.
Trevor Rosenthal, solid closer guy.
Yeah,
just throws
gas.
heat, blows
just
gas,
throws gas.
absolute
Yeah,
gas. Yeah, absolutely.
So I have them still winning it. It's going to come down. Like I said, the Cubs will probably finish in 3rd above the Brewers and the Reds, just because I think Joe Maddon's a great fit for the Cubs. Great coach, knows how to get teams to the playoffs, but I still think they're a year away. The Cubs will finish 3rd, and then you got Pittsburgh, led by a former MVP winner in McCutchen, who just recently cut his long hair off.
Did he really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he cut his long hair off.
All right.
But they've had some solid players too. Josh Harrison in the infield also plays outfield. Starling Marte, and along with Gregory Polanco out in the outfield. And then you have Neil Walker, solid second baseman, get things done. A little power from second base also. I think their big thing is their pitching, though. Liriano, Garrett Cole's good, A.J. Burnett, So but they have like 3 good pitchers, but I wouldn't really necessarily call any one of them an ace, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I think they're a very, very well-balanced staff with nobody that's got that lights-out stuff. So I think they're going to need to score a lot of runs to win a lot of games, which I think they're able to, for sure. Clint Hurdle, great coach.
Yeah,
great coach. Coached the Rockies as well.
It seems like just the NL in general is coming alive with a lot of pitching. We're seeing a lot of. I think there's a shift. The AL's been strong for so long, dominant pitching, good DHs, been winning a lot of All-Star games. But it seems like we're seeing a shift. We're definitely seeing it. In the championships, the Giants have been, up there in the series the last few years. Cardinals have been there too. For the AL was just dominant for so long, and I'm seeing, and it looks like we're starting to see a shift. I think a lot of that has to do with the starting pitching.
Yeah.
Again, still some big bats in the AL, but just the same in the NL as well. But yeah, I think that the pitching is going to be. So I don't know. I don't know if Pittsburgh's going to be a team that's going to be able to put a lot of runs on the board.
Yeah.
Not to say. They've got some pretty good bats, but I don't really. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really see any power hitters on that lineup.
Who, the Pirates?
Yeah.
McCutchen gets you maybe 25 home runs.
Yeah, I think that's asking a lot too.
Yeah, and then a lot of the other guys will hit the teens or 20s, but they'll get runs.
Right.
They're gap hitters. They get base hits and move runners over is how they score. So, still a tough division. I think it'll come down to the Cardinals. Who are you taking? Who you liking?
It's hard to go against the Cardinals. I don't know why you're so down on Cincinnati. Cincinnati's definitely not bad. They've got
pitching.
They've got some pretty. They've got. They've got Cueto though, but that's about all they've got.
Yeah.
I think he might be a free agent at the end of this year, so
yeah.
they definitely need to try to lock him up. Hopefully, nothing happens there. But
he's he's in his 30s, so I don't know how big of a contract he can get.
Right. So, but we'll see. They may end up trading him because of that.
Yeah.
And maybe they look to make some other moves. But
right.
You got Joey Votto at first base. A solid hitter there. So what?
Brandon Phillips at second base.
Yeah, they've been able to kind of hang in there in the division.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Milwaukee's kind of fallen off. Yeah,
pitching.
and then we'll see what happens with Chicago. You know, Chicago's got
I
that
got them in
that
third.
young kid
They're
that's supposed to be coming up. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
did
Chris-
get
Chris Bryant.
Joe Madden.
Chris
It's a
Bryant.
huge pickup. Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant. And then they have Anthony Rizzo still.
Mm-hmm.
They got this kid Jorge Solar.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Puig. He's from Cuba. Also, I think he's just a big kid though. He can hit the crap out of the ball.
Dexter
and then,
Fowler in center.
Yeah, and they got a couple other players too that are going to be coming up with Chris Bryant. Javier Baez, and then there's this other kid. I can't think of his name, but they also sent him down to the minors as well. But they'll probably eventually throughout the season they're going to be bringing these kids up, and they're going to be playing good ball.
Yeah,
Joe Madden's going to coach them up well.
I think he will. But again, they may be a contender. I think you're right up there. They're going to be fighting for that first spot. But I would agree with you. I think it's the Cardinals division to take.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just I hate to, not that I hate to agree with you, but it's with the lineups it is kind of fair. But to me it seems like a bit of a stacked division. It's definitely going to be a fight for that second spot or that wild card spot, whatever it's going to be in that division.
Okay.
So definitely a strong division.
Cardinals,
there.
huh?
Yeah. I'd go with the Cardinals as well.
Okay. So let's move on back to the West Coast. Let's go to the AL Central, my man.
AL West.
AL West. That's what I said. AL West.
So unfortunate, departure for the Angels last year. Took the division and got swept in the first round by the KC Royals, who were just like, I think kind of like how you talked about earlier. They just got hot at the right time. But we'll talk about the Angels a little bit. I mean, they did. I don't know. I mean, I hate to. I hate to root for the Angels. I mean, I understand that they're our team. Mike Trout maybe makes another MVP run.
Why wouldn't he?
Just a solid young player.
Only getting better.
Who knows what's going to happen with Hamilton? I think that's a big red flag.
Tough
for them.
subject, yeah, for sure.
Who knows what's going to happen to him?
But they got.
I don't know.
Pujols still.
Yeah,
he had a healthy offseason. No injuries, no surgeries, no anything like that. Still older. I think he's now like 35.
Right.
I think he's going to do a lot more DHing this year. I think that Crone guy is going to be playing a lot more first base.
Okay.
And letting Pujols kind of sub in and out here and there.
You got a good catcher with Iannetta behind the plate.
Yeah, he's not too bad.
Controls the field pretty well.
Ibar, solid shortstop defensively.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
But starting pitching, you got Garrett Richards.
Who's going to be back healthy this year now.
He messed up his leg last year, so he should be fine.
That was a big loss for them.
Another guy that reminds me of Smoltz, just 97, just 96 gas, just throwing it hard. Weaver. Veteran. Doesn't get it done the way he used to, but he could still pitch you in a game. He could still give
you
you
a great guy to have in your starting. I would say in your starting rotation, if not your top 2 or 3.
He could still give you 6 or 7 innings, and he doesn't throw the ball as hard as he used to, but he knows how to pitch with that deceptive windup.
Yep.
And then C.J. Wilson.
Not quite what he used to be, but
not quite. But I think he's going to turn it around this year. I think he felt a lot of pressure on himself last year coming over with that big contract, coming over to California, where he's from. I think he's from California.
Yeah, he's a local guy. He went to Long Beach State, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and then Matt Shoemaker, the fourth pitcher. So, and then you got one of the best coaches in the game, I think.
Absolutely.
One of the former best Dodgers, I think, also number 14. He used to wear the Dodger uniform.
Yep.
Mike Scioscia knows how to coach, gets it done. I think I want to say he's not either the top tenured coach or the second, coaching the team the longest. I think he's been coaching the Angels for like 15, 16 years now, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if anybody's been around longer than him.
It was like 99 or like 2000.
Okay.
But before we go to break, I have the Angels winning the West. We'll get your take when we come back, though.
All right, we'll take a look. I'm going to make my prediction. I might be looking at Oakland. We'll see. We'll catch you after the break.
Let's do it.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today. or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
Looking for some swag? Make sure to check out monsterclothing.com. They got everything from V-necks, t-shirts, hoodies, baby dolls. And remember, custom orders are always welcome, and much more. They're just not on the site yet. www.monsterclothingco.com or call them at 888-49-MONSTER. 888-49-MONSTER. Hablamos español. Doo-doo-doo!
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
I used to be the governor, and all I do now is listening to Rant Radio Network. It's funny. It's unpredictably entertaining. Governor.
Restaurant, go yourself a baseball steak or something like that.
Does he say that?
Yeah. When he goes in there and meets with the guys in the restaurant, it's all like,
yeah, after he got the money, right?
Yeah. Let's go get it from the trunk. What's going on, everybody? Mos Bros Sports caught us in a little bit of movie trivia here, but we're gonna continue on with our baseball predictions. I think I'm
taking the Angels. AL
I know.
West.
I think I'm gonna have to go with you just because I think they're a team that's built for the long. They're built for the 162 games.
Angels.
They're built for that long season. I was trying to look at Oakland to see what kind of
I just don't think
what kind of changes they made.
They don't have offense.
All they've got. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean,
they always have young, good pitching, so that might get them far. But
right.
I don't think they really have any offense to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have. They don't. I don't. It doesn't look like a. They usually put together runs. I don't see them putting together runs with that lineup this year.
Yeah, I know, and they lost.
But every time we say that, they end up winning the West.
Well, no, they didn't win last year.
I know, I'm just saying, but they always usually win something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, too, I mean, you've got Texas.
They got Prince Fielder, Beltre.
They've got some decent pitching, too.
Nah, they're, what's his name? Yu Darvish is down for the year.
Is he? I didn't know that.
He's going to have Tommy John. So.
Oh, wow.
But they got Prince Fielder, Beltre, and Shinshu Shu.
Right field.
Other than that, the only thing that's going to put up with the Angels is the Mariners, who in fact might win the AL West.
Yeah, I
think
I was hearing that they might. Some people have them as the favorite to win the West.
They got Robinson Cano. They picked up Nelson Cruz, who I couldn't remember earlier. They have Corey Seager's brother,
Kyle Seager.
Seager, who can play well.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Morrison's okay. Dustin Ackley can get the job done, and but they have great pitching.
Yeah.
Felix Hernandez.
Blows gas.
Iwakuma, great pitcher, very under the radar. Not too many people know about him unless you probably pay attention to fantasy baseball.
Right.
But he puts together very good games. They got this kid, Taiwan Walker. Remember that name?
Okay.
Solid.
Mental note.
Solid pitcher. He'll get it done. I'm not saying he's an ace yet, but he can definitely be like a number 3 starter. That's for sure.
Okay.
And they got this other kid too, Paxton, who's also another young starter as well. But and they got the Fernando Rodney in the bullpen, still closing games. So,
nice.
It's going to be a tough division, but I think it's going to come down. I think the Angels are going to end up taking it.
If the Angels stay healthy, and then depending what happens,
who you got?
Yeah, I mean,
Who you got?
I think, like I said, I think the Angels are built for the long season. If their pitchers stay healthy, they've definitely got the bats. If depending on what happens with Josh Hamilton, because I don't know who they've got, to play behind him. I mean, they're not that deep. I don't think in the outfield. They've got this guy Colin Cowgill, and Matt Joyce are kind of like their 2 big prospects as far as coming off the bench. So, But I mean, they definitely have the ability to put it together. I mean, if I'm a gambling man, I put my money on them.
Taking the Angels?
I would take the Angels. Yes.
Check.
So now,
the most important division of the hour.
And it might be probably the most competitive, I think. Now
Mhm.
looking at it, returning champions, returning World Series champions,
The hated
returning
ones.
divisional champions, the hated ones.
No, they didn't win the division. Wild card.
That's right. They were the
Dodgers
wild
won
card.
the
Dodgers
wild-
won the
yep.
division. San Francisco Giants.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Dodgers, we know what we got.
Absolutely.
Jimmy Rollins.
We've been talking about it on the show. Probably on paper the best roster.
Ryu's got to be healthy. I don't know what the shoulder issues are. I still like McCarthy as if he comes in as a 3 or 4, that's still not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
And if Anderson stays healthy at the back end, that could be okay also.
Mhm.
But it depends on how healthy Ryu could stay. And if he doesn't, we need to get something, coming up from the minors. We definitely need to trade for somebody.
I mean, the Dodgers are going to start off good. I mean, I think
We know how the lineup is
if they make
offensively.
it off to a little bit of slow start.
Yeah.
Depending and then depending on how soon Kenley Jansen comes back.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with them.
He's going to
but, I
miss
mean,
about
they
a
can-
month, they said, I think.
Yeah.
He'll miss April,
I mean,
think.
no hurry.
Yeah.
Absolutely no hurry. And then what I love about the Dodgers too is just their depth.
Yeah.
I mean, the depth that they have.
It's not a sprint,
coming
it's a
off
marathon.
the bench. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We saw last year what Justin Turner was able to do. A great guy coming off the bench could
Van Slyke.
get great hits. Van Slyke is your guy in the outfielder, and you've got Andre Ethier on the bench in the outfield.
Yeah.
Young prospect and Jock Peterson.
He's going to be starting center field probably, I think.
Mhm.
So
And then they had the pickup. I think we talked briefly last week about that Cuban kid they picked up.
yeah, he's going to be in the minors though, but
Right.
they are who's going to be in the major leagues is Guerrero, the Cuban that
Alex
they signed.
Guerrero. Yeah.
They signed him a couple years ago. So,
Mhm.
but the Giants, I think I have the Dodgers winning. I think they should. They're the best team on paper. I think right
do also.
right next to the Nats, but still solid. Coming back with Gardner, Matt Cain's coming back healthy off of surgery after last year.
Mhm.
Timmy Hudson, former Brave, gets it done. I think he's like 40 now. He might be a
Good
little
veteran.
bit over
He's going
40.
to be what, number 3 or
Yeah.
number 4 spot on that
Probably number
roster?
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake Peavy.
Mm-hmm.
He's he always gives the Dodgers a hell of a time, but he can still maybe get the job done as a 4th and 5th, and then they got Lincecum at the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a solid lineup. Pagan's got to stay healthy, although he didn't last year and they still won it.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Panik, solid second baseman. Posey, holding it
Veteran,
together.
Great guy behind the plate.
Holding it together.
Yeah.
And then probably one of the underrated players in baseball is Hunter Pence. Gets the job done. Plays
ugly swing.
ugly swing, ugly throwing. You know what? But he
But he
makes
gets it done.
catches. He
Yep.
throws people out.
Yep.
He gets base hits.
Good
he,
kid, a lot of heart.
He hits some home runs, and he plays every day. He's never out of the lineup
Mm-hmm.
until he just got hurt recently in the. I think he got hit in like the wrist or the elbow or something like that.
Right.
So losing the Panda Man will hurt him a little bit.
Right.
They picked up this guy McGee from the Marlins who will fill in for him, but who's to see what they'll do?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they'll be in second. It'll be a tough race, actually. I think the whole division.
'Cause you
The
got
Padres are right
They
there.
Made some good moves.
They picked up Will Myers.
Mhm.
All us Dodger fans know they picked up Matt Kemp as well.
And they picked up Upton. Mhm.
They still got this kid Yonder Alonso at first base. They picked up this catcher from the A's, Derek Norris.
Mm-hmm.
This name Vince Scully loves saying this name is Jed Jerko. You know he loves saying Jerko. He loves
Yeah.
saying his last name. It's funny.
And then they picked up some pitching too. They got James Shields in
Yeah.
the offseason too. So I mean,
And-
the Padres really made some moves. A great veteran coach in Bud Black, a guy who's
Yeah.
been with that team. That was the name I couldn't think of. I was trying to think of Bud Black. He's
Yeah,
the guy who's
came over from the Angels.
Yeah, he's been with them for a while.
Yeah.
So
But Tyson Ross is an all-star last year.
Mhm.
Andrew Kashner is also he can strike some people out. He's got a good arm.
Ian Kennedy,
Ian
kind
Kennedy
of rounding out the bottom of
yeah,
that lineup.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's not bad.
But they have a pretty good solid 3 pitchers right there, I think.
Mhm.
And if all those 3 people that they traded for can do anything, they have a pretty dangerous lineup.
Yeah.
San Diego's been known for a place where they can't really hit too many home runs.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to see what they
Not
can
really
do.
a hitter's park.
Not
I
really
definitely
hitters,
see
more
him
of a
be-
pitcher's park.
Oh, sorry. I said not. I think I
Yeah,
said not
you
really
said-
a
you
hitter's
said the-
park.
yeah.
Okay. So I definitely see them kind of floating. They may jump in and out of first place, especially at the beginning of the season. But I think when it comes to the second half, the Dodgers, I think, will be strong as long as they're healthy. You know, they're going to start off a little bit injured, but I think they'll come back strong. And so I definitely have the Dodgers taking the NL West. As far as the wild card is concerned in the National League.
Oh, by the way,
Sorry,
shout
go ahead.
out. Going back, I never mentioned it. I know I said Tampa Bay is not going to be looking that good. They have a great pitching staff, though. Young arms, solid, good pitching. And they probably will have, at the end of the season, a top 5 rotation. Just to throw that in there.
Think so?
Yeah. Really young, good arms. We'll finish off the West. Arizona's going to finish last. I really don't think they have anything going for them.
Porker.
And then Colorado, Tulowitzki and Carlos Gonzalez, they get hit.
That's about all you got.
They get hurt every year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really doesn't boil down to much other
I
than
thought there was a lot of talk last year of Tulo getting traded either in the offseason or is he going to be a free agent at the end of this year?
Yeah,
Maybe he might be getting traded this year.
Yeah, they're saying he might go to the Yankees and replace Jeter, but that's
Right.
not happening. So,
No.
But go ahead. Who's your 2 NL wildcard teams?
NL wildcard teams, I think I'm definitely going to have, because I got the Dodgers coming out of the West, I'm going to have to take San Francisco, returning champs. Just the one really big change was the third base with Big Panda to their roster. So, they're going to be my wild card team.
Okay.
My other wild card team, I don't know. I think it's gonna
have to come from the Central.
It's gonna have to come from the Central, yeah. So I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
We have the same exact National League playoffs.
Do we?
The teams.
Yeah.
Who's your who do you got for the AL wild card?
AL wild card, I'm gonna take. Let me see what I want to do. I'm gonna go with. I've got Boston taking the East, so I'm gonna take Baltimore, coming out for one of the wild cards, and then my other one is probably gonna be Seattle.
Okay. Because I have the Orioles winning the East.
Right.
But we have the same teams making the playoffs.
Do we?
I have my wild card is the Mariners and Red Sox.
Okay.
I think the Nats are going to have the number 1 seed. I think they'll end up having a better record than the Dodgers, who will have a number 2.
Well, they play in a soft division, so I see that. I would agree with you on that.
So I think that's what's going to happen there. And then I also have the I think I'm going to have the Orioles as coming out with the best record.
Best record
in the AL.
Over the Angels? The
Yep.
Angels had it last year, and they were, they were running away with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad.
Who do you have winning the National League?
Dodgers.
Dodgers. Okay.
Dodgers have to. As long as pitching stays healthy, I think this is going to be Kershaw's breakout year as far as the playoffs are concerned.
And I think if it's gonna come down to them and the Nats for the NL championship, I think they have a little more offense than the Nats do.
I agree.
I think they can put a little bit more
and
offense
I think
together.
their depth at the starting rotation's a little bit better too.
Yeah. Who do you have winning the American League?
American League, I'm gonna have to. I think again because of the starting pitching. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City makes a wild card run now that I look at it. But I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna take Detroit because of starting pitching. I like Detroit. They're strong. They put up good runs.
Call.
I'm gonna take Detroit coming out of the American League. So I got Detroit and Dodgers.
I have Dodgers, Red Sox.
Dodgers, Red Sox. Ooh. So a wild card, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Who won it last year?
A wild card.
Who'd they play in the game?
They played
a wild card team.
That's right. Kansas City was a wild card
team.
because Detroit won that division.
Yep.
Wow.
So I think it's gonna. I think that the American League is going to be a lot tougher when it comes to the playoffs than the National League. I think once the National League gets the Cards, Dodgers, and Nats is going to be tough.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough for them 3.
And then depending who gets hot at the right time, you could have a wild card that kind of comes out of, no pun intended, but comes out of left field,
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the show for today. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to Mos Bros Sports here on iRant Radio. If you missed the show, be sure to check it out on YouTube, and we'll catch you here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock on iRantRadio.com. Have a great week, everybody.